Welcome back to the global news. Chef Les Kincaid gave his live audience at the Mcmullan's Irish pub a special treat. Not only did he pair 3 fine wines with good Irish food, he also had 3 varieties of exotic coffee to pair the wines with. Never done before on Wines to Jour. Enjoy the segment.
Welcome to Wines du Jour. We're here in Las Vegas, Nevada, where we normally broadcast from, but more importantly, we're from one of my favorite restaurants, Mcmullan's Irish Pub. Now we're here for a specific reason, because tonight we're going to do something that we've never done before in the 12 and a half years we've been doing this show every week. We are going to take wine, coffee, and Irish food and pair them together. Now I know that sounds like, what? What do you mean? Most people don't even realize about coffee. You know, they get up in the morning, they take that tablespoon of decaf, put it in some hot water, stir it, and that's it. We're talking about high-end, good quality coffee, and the man that owns the company, well, he's the CEO, and makes it all happen, is going to be my guest tonight. So you're going to discover an awful lot of good information about coffee. In addition to that, we have one of my favorite wines from California, actually from Santa Ynez area, that is just outside of Santa Barbara, which is just above Los Angeles, and what we're going to feature this evening. Chardonnay, Pinot Noir, and their favorite from the Big Easy, a Syrah. So don't go anywhere. We'll be back right after these messages. Welcome back. We're having a good time here at this beautiful Irish pub. And tonight, we're going to have some really unique things because my special guest sitting right next to me, Scott Flail, is an expert on coffee. We're talking about high-end coffee, and we're talking about excellent wines. The excellent wines, as I mentioned a little bit ago, coming to us just out of Santa Barbara, Santa Ynez area, is Fess Parker. You might remember him as the man that wore the coonskin cap. Well, we're going to pair 3 of Fess Parker's wines with 3 different coffees on the air. Now, the first food that we're going to pair with the first wine and coffee is going to be a salmon with a lemon butter sauce with a little saffron rice on the side, and it's going to pair with Fess Parker's Chardonnay. Now, this Chardonnay comes from a particular vineyard that Fess's daughter has, and so it has the name after her. I'll tell you about that when we get down to tasting it. In addition to that, then, Scott is going to give us some information about coffee. Well, this is not what we call breakfast coffee. This is quality coffee that you can have anytime, especially now if you're going to discover a little bit about wine and coffee together. Pairing coffee and wine. Scott, thank you very much for sharing some of the product with us tonight and giving us some information about beautiful coffee. I thought there was only one coffee bean. How in the world do we get all these other things? Would it be something simple like the terroir, the ground where the plants are actually growing, just like we have with the Chardonnay from different parts of the world, tastes different because the terroir where those vineyards are different. Is that, am I on base?
You're amazing me with how much you know, Les. I wasn't going to be surprised about what an expert you are on food and wine, but you're correct. There's actually different varietals of coffee trees and plants similar to the grape vineyards. And then the terroir affects the cherry tremendously. So a lot of folks don't even know where does coffee come from, and it's a cherry, and that cherry inside it has 2 to 3 pits. So there's a variety of different coffees. Each country has microclimates within it, different terroirs within it, and even within the farms, just as the vintners go out and the winemakers circle up what grapes they're going to process and when, we go into the coffee plantations and do the same.
Okay, here we go now with wine number 2, which is the Santa Rita Pinot Noir from Fess Parker. And we have, to pair the food, We have a beautiful New York steak with fried onions, a little bit of mashed potatoes, and a peppercorn sauce. Now, I mentioned earlier about the salmon and the sauce that went with that, the lemon sauce. Now we have a peppercorn sauce, and truly what we're going to pair the wine and the food together with is the peppercorn sauce, not the piece of beef, if you understand what I'm saying. So the peppercorn sauce and the Pinot Noir, the peppercorns and the flavor in the Pinot Noir, you know, that starts out with cherry, which is, again, right back to what Scott was talking about in his coffee explanation. So you can see how we're trying to get this to all kind of blend together. So fried onions, peppercorn sauce, New York steak, how bad can that be? Let's pour a little Pinot Noir, and I'll ask Scott if he can get his coffee ready that's going to pair with this.
Be my pleasure.
We are trying some beautiful, unique things tonight here on Wines du Jour, and that is we are pairing wine with coffee and with food. This is number 3. The third wine, and you'll notice this is Fess Parker's old little hat that we thought it would be fun for you to take a look at if you remember Fess Parker doing his TV show. But the wine is called the Big Easy.
So our coffees all come directly from the farm, Les, all the way to the consumer's
No
cup.
kidding.
There's no middlemen in between at all.
There you go.
And
You're going to
it's-
get the best price,
Right, and it's exotic.
and they're going to get the best
origins.com.
price. It's a win-win.
It's a win-win for everybody and helps the people.
All right, sounds great. Let's try this Big Easy here. I told you it's got Syrah, Petit Syrah, and a little Grenache all blended together, and it's called the Big Easy. And what we like to do is to take a look at our wine, swirl it around in the glass, and stick our nose down in there and take a big whiff. Man, this even has chocolate in the nose.
It's beautiful, beautiful.
Now let's take a taste of this chocolate cake, and then we can taste some of this coffee as well.
You've been teasing me all night about this cake.
I know. Wait till you taste it. You'll see what I'm talking about.
Oh my gosh.
Isn't that good?
It is the best I've ever had.
I'm telling you, it's very, very tasty. Now this coffee, man, I have to tell you, is very good. One thing about this Big Easy that I didn't mention that we try to talk about each week with Wines du Jour is this is 14% alcohol. That's not very high by today's standards. By 15 years ago, it would be on the high end. But when you take Syrah and Grenache and Petit Syrah, blend them all together, you're going to increase a little bit of the alcohol, and that's what's happened here. I have to tell you, we've had a great time tonight. Scott Pale has been a great guest. The knowledge he has is impeccable. The website, tell us again what it is.
It's exoticoriginscoffee.com.
That's easy enough.
Thanks, Les.
We can do that, you bet. Well, let's have a little toast.
Okay.
You know what? Because Fess Parker was a friend, I'm going to put on his hat.
Nice. Cheers.
Thank you very much for coming. Appreciate it. Thank you for watching Wines du Jour. We'll be back next time.
I hope you enjoyed Chef Lindsay Kincaid Wines du Jour edition of this week. If you're in Las Vegas, join the live food pairing event every Thursday each week. Go to winesdujour.com to RSVP. This is Shannon Yang, keeping you informed on the global news, sharing the best diet, fitness, and fashion tips with you on the global news.
Switch to DirecTV, America's #1 satellite television provider. The undisputed leader in sports. #1 in customer satisfaction with the most full-time HD channels anywhere. Get DirecTV today and receive a free Genie upgrade. Genie powers your entire home with one HD DVR. There's no equipment to buy and no startup costs. Packages start at just $24.99. There's never been a better time to switch. Call your authorized DirecTV dealer and upgrade your television experience today.